Welcome, everyone. I'm Amy. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, and I'm joined today, as always, by my very progressive co-host,
Very progressive,
Dr. Jason Martin. He's a board-certified plastic and reconstructive surgeon. Dr. Martin, do you know what day today is?
I have no idea. What day is this?
Today is Wednesday, but what else is significant about today?
Is it my birthday?
It is January 1st, 2020.
5.
5. Can we get like the number 5 from us, like Sesame Street?
Yeah, totally.
Yes. 1, 2,
Again,
3,
showing
4,
our
5,
ages.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12.
I feel like that was Electric
5.
Company, but that's probably Sesame Street.
I think that was Electric Company,
Yeah.
actually. I think you're right. Yes.
I got you.
So Happy New Year, everybody. Cue the streamers. Boo, boo. 2025. I'm going to keep my thoughts about 2025 to myself because 5 years ago I said something about 2020 that turned out not to be true at all. So, yeah, Dr. Martin, I'm excited about the new year, but I'm more excited.
Oh, yeah, this is my favorites of all favorites.
Favorite episode of the year. This is our top 5 moments from 2024.
Yep.
So we are going in the Wayback
And I
Machine.
feel like it was a good year. There were some years where I was like, oh my God, thank God the year's over. This year was pretty good.
Good.
In terms of podcasting, we had some great episodes.
Yeah, we really did. So it's always hard to pick. And this year, I'm going first. But before that, I highly recommend if you are listening to this podcast, you should absolutely watch it because there's something really awesome that you're going to get to see, which is not only us talking about these clips, but Nils Mashup, which is like my favorite thing of the year.
Right.
So you can find all of our social media handles here. And the video links for all of these videos will be in the description box below. We can't do the tag out all of them because we only get 5 and we've got 10 total.
Right.
So.
But my research was extensive this episode. I probably spent at least 40 or 50 hours going through everything. It wasn't an hour.
Cue Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't believe you. No one has listened to us talk more than
Amy
Nils.
was done by July, even though we hadn't done half the episodes yet. So
Yeah. So I'm going first.
Okay.
And my number 5, when I sent Nils my list of videos, I said, I can't tell you, but it'll be an easy clip to pull.
Nice.
So typically we would watch this clip right now. This is Amy's number 5. So we're going to let Amy's number 5 play.
So one thing we did not do is wish Nils a happy birthday in the last episode. So he had his birthday. So
Maybe he doesn't want to be shouted out.
No, I don't mind.
okay, happy birthday, Nils.
He's like, oh yeah, I like it. Yep. Should we get you a hat?
Yeah.
Poppers. Woo-hoo. Confetti. Happy birthday, Nils.
Yeah.
Belated.
Happy birthday.
Because we're bad. So,
All right, we're back.
yes. All
We're
right.
back now. No more streamers.
No more streamers. Get done with the party celebration. Why don't I can't have cake, but whatever. Maybe we'll have cake in November, Nils.
There we go.
Yep. We'll have Thanksgiving cake to celebrate your birthday or donuts because I know you like donuts.
Yeah, you're a big donut guy.
Yep. For all the podcast listeners, you want to send something to Nils, send him donuts.
You know, I have sometimes weird thoughts about food. You've always pointed that out.
Yes.
But like donuts to me, like I'll eat a pizza and be fine, but donuts to me are way too extravagant.
You know
Like,
what the really funny...
why do I think like that? You know, it's not like a pizza probably has just as many calories.
Well, let's take a look at let's say Dunkin' Donuts. A donut is probably the least caloric option you can get from them. Far less calories than the croissants, than the breakfast sandwiches, than the muffins. I mean, a donut has like half the calories of a muffin. Yeah.
So I didn't know this.
Yes. So, a donut in isolation, I think is totally fine. And I think if Nils wants some birthday donuts, donut that up.
You go, Nils.
Yes.
Get your donut on.
Get your donut on. Get your donut on. I will say one thing about it. I had to go back to 2023 for this clip. I cheated just a tiny bit, but there's a reason why.
Do we change the rules?
Well, I made a promise
Are we
to
getting
Nils
filmed right now? Is this part of the thing?
in 2023. Oh, they blew out. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nils. Happy birthday to you.
I had no idea this was going on.
I'm confused.
Well, so there was an episode in 2023. You guys have seen the clip now. So we were talking about Nils' birthday, and I said maybe Nils doesn't want us to talk about his birthday, but he did, and I was on prep, so I couldn't celebrate with him.
Right.
And I promised him that I would bring him a donut with a candle.
Yes.
And then I didn't because we were,
Well,
because I was on prep.
Yeah, I do.
And I was also on prep this August.
You have a memory of an elephant.
Remember that?
because
Yeah.
So this is the.
I forget about Nils when he's not right in front of me.
This is the donut that I have owed Nils for a year.
Yes, I'm Schrodinger's Nils. I only show up if
With-
you
yeah,
open
with-
the box.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
nothing. If you don't open the box, you don't know what's in
I
there.
don't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah, or I do and don't at the same time.
All right, well, that's good. I like
Yeah.
the fact that we're
Awesome.
celebrating Nils. I mean, he's the reason this stuff happens. So,
All right. So
what's my number 5?
Dr. Martin. Now we're going to get Dr. Martin's number 5.
Yes.
So we are going to watch Dr. Martin's.
I feel like
number
you were
5.
buttering Nils up with donuts, or what are those? I mean, is that even a donut?
That is
What
a donut.
Yeah, it's like
looks
a
like a donut on
Frankenstein.
steroids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
donut. It looks delicious.
Parlor donuts are the best. All right. So this is Dr. Martin's number 5. And we're back. And we're back with a way back. We also had one of these on our first question.
I mean, you guys are going to such OG episodes.
Episode 37.
Yeah.
Tummy tucks.
They're hard to watch. We're a lot more professional now.
They are hard to watch.
And this is from Bobby Mommy Chio 6302.
Yep. Can lipo 360 be done with a tummy tuck? The lipo is for the bra fat and both sides, upper back and flanks. So before you answer, Dr. Martin, I did respond to her, but just I think there's the misconception here is that there can be 360 lipo, that what she's looking for is 360 lipo. She's actually looking for lipo on the back with a tummy tuck,
Yeah.
which is different.
So they talk about 360 lipo, which is just a marketing term.
It's a marketing.
I mean, we've been doing 360 lipo since Amy and I started
Since
working
lipo
together.
became a thing.
Since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of lipo.
Since they invented fire. So 360 lipo just means you're contouring the trunk circumferentially.
Mm.
And of course you're going to do that because you wouldn't leave. If you're going to contour your front, you're going to want to contour the back because you want to look good in clothes. You want to look good in bathing suits. And so we've been doing 360 degree lipo for a long time. So they just put a term to it. And so people would say, oh, I want 360 lipo. Also, combining liposuction with tummy tucks, Amy and I have been doing that for forever because you're not going to make the flat front again, like we said before, and not address the sides, which is the flanks.
And it's a rare patient who doesn't need their flanks.
It's pretty much every single one.
I would say 1%.
Maybe Amy
of the
right
time.
now, pre-prep.
Yeah,
whatever.
in prep. Yeah.
In prep, sorry. But if you're doing the flanks or the sides, why wouldn't you do the bra line?
If you need it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do the upper back? Why wouldn't you do your saddlebags or your inner thighs or whatever? And we do that almost every single case. So, of course, Bobby and Mommy, for sure, if you're going to have a tummy tuck, then do the liposuction in those other places. It will make your results better. It's not going to increase your recovery. You might have a little more pain for sure, but it's not going to increase your recovery time. And then also long term, you're going to just be much happier with those results.
Well, that's really what I said to her as well. Like, I always tell patients who ask about additional areas of liposuction, like, while you're going under anesthesia, if there is any other area on your body that you want liposuction on, get it done.
Right.
You're combining your recovery. Like Dr. Martin said, it doesn't add to your recovery. You might be more sore in those areas, but you're going to be sore anywhere. Like, get it done.
And it's not an upsell
No.
from us. Like, we're saying this to you, like, educationally speaking and from an empowerment standpoint. If you have areas you don't like and you are going under anesthesia,
Yeah, take care of them.
just like look at every area acerбically, critically. Do you want to do this or not? This is the time to do it. It's probably going to be more cost effective also to combine surgeries with the anesthesia and OR costs. So it's worth it to do it as long as it's you don't have any reasons not to, medically speaking.
Yep. Well, and if you're having surgery, then you're medically cleared. So,
So
you're good.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
All right. Well, that was kind of like, it wasn't a super humorous one, but I thought that clip summarized pretty much everything that we do. Number one, it's you and I ranting about things we've always done, you know? Secondly, us quoting that like liposuction definitely is necessary and you should do as many places as you can. Also, liposuction hurts usually more than tummy tucks. And third, thinking about like the way to approach these things in a way that's pragmatic and from an educational standpoint. So I love that clip because I thought it really was, represented everything that we do on a regular basis. By the way, when you look at that clip, you can see the tummy tuck episode where, oh my God, this is the way I look. You look pretty much the same.
Well, episode 37. I mean, I don't even know what year that came out.
That was like probably 2001, I think. We were before Joe Rogan was podcasting.
Well, we met in 2007. So, all right. That was a great one, Dr. Martin. So now we've got my number 4.
Is there any more treats for Nils?
There are
or
no
some-
more.
okay.
There's nothing else. My interactive one was number 5. Yeah.
right.
Yes. All right. This was awesome. So this was from an older episode. This was our episode 154, Research We're Into. And it just dug into all the things we talked about, like kind of in just a brief snippet at the end of Dr. Martin's, when he was talking about his research about kind of aging in general and how long a person could live. So this was from Sheila McCurley 7084, the numbers. So longevity is a great philosophical question. What happens to society? Will this only be a millionaire's world? Which is what all these things I brought up, Sheila, was amazing. Does retirement end? Women only have so many eggs. How will they be replaced? What if the women who already have hysterectomies, can they create a whole new uterus? Will those who reverse be denied children?
I feel like Sheila was on mushrooms or something.
So many questions. I don't know. And then
it was like one of those nights, late.
So I responded because we kind of brought up all these things, and I just love that Sheila was thinking the same thing. So I responded, and then she responded back. Just wanted to add, you would probably be interested in a TV series called Altered Carbon. A sci-fi. Let me finish, please. A sci-fi whodunit with a twist of longevity and all the interesting societal side effects that come with it. Just don't watch it with your children. LOL.
No, it is. It's an R-rated show, and it is so good. There was only one season, I think.
No, there were
two.
There were two.
Yeah,
okay,
but the main character was different second season.
Yeah.
But they like download their consciousness so they can just keep swapping bodies.
It was crazy.
It was good sci-fi.
Oh, excellent
adult
sci-fi show. You didn't watch that?
Well, so I hadn't heard of it until Sheila made this comment. So I started watching it, and I was like, I wonder why I should not watch it with your kids. So the very first episode, the very first scene in the very first episode is of two people literally head to toe covered in blood.
Yeah.
In a shower.
Yeah, I remember this.
Like showering off, and then they start having sex.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Like, would be uncomfortable maybe to watch with your
That's
children.
like a normal
depending on their
Thursday,
age.
Amy, in my house.
Right? I don't know why you're coming home covered in blood.
Yeah, it was a difficult time in the
Talk to
OR.
Barb
I'm going to
about
shower
that.
off and
Barb,
take you
why
to
was
my
she
bed.
covered in
Well,
blood?
butchering animals, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. So yeah, apparently Nils and Dr. Martin have seen this show, and you guys both highly recommend it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nils and I like the same stuff. So this is a little caveat to this. I would not highly recommend it to a lot of people. If you like sci-fi and you like futuristic kind of what's the show you always like? Gattaca. It has that Gattaca feel to it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this, Sheila, as you know from listening to this episode, that was the one thing I brought up primarily was the caste system that would be developed
Which exactly happened in that show.
Yeah, in a world of longevity, because like you said, will this only be a millionaire's world? And we see so much of that even in medicine now and just in society, right? People who have money have access to things that everybody else doesn't. And then I'm going to go back to Gattaca like I did in this episode, because then you become a lower class citizen because you were a natural child and not a genetically engineered child, essentially. So many questions. And I'm excited to watch Altered Carbon. I'm not going to watch it at the gym anymore, though.
Can I answer a few of these questions?
Yes.
Are you okay with it? All right.
Yeah,
so number one.
These are questions.
All right. Number one, for sure, we will make organs within my lifetime. And that will be with recombinant technology and gene therapy. But
if you make a uterus, how are you going to get the eggs?
I'm not sure about the ovaries and egg part, but definitely you will be able to make organs within my lifetime if I live a normal length of time of life. In terms of does retirement end, that's the main issue besides what Amy was talking about, the caste system, is longevity and quality of life. And that's the stuff that Amy and I go back and forth on. So
right. How do you fund your life for your life? You'd have to keep working.
And also the quality of life. Are you functional? Like, can you actually functionally work? Mm-hmm. Or are you 100 years old and
just draining the system,
sarcopenic and have no functionality?
Yeah, you're the scared, starving mouse.
Right. So the idea of longevity is great, but the idea of non-functional longevity is so scary.
And that's even what we're dealing with now.
Right. So, which is why Amy and I, our motivations about longevity is really probably not to live forever, but is to be functional as we get older.
To have a healthiest health span.
As long as possible.
Lifespan.
I think it's just so interesting. It's such a really.
Yeah, I loved it. Sheila.
Maybe Sheila was on. Maybe I'm on mushrooms.
She was not. She was. That's just it. She was actually hearing what we were saying and logically thinking about it as I do.
The real question I have about Sheila McCurley. Do you think she stumbled across our channel and she's never coming back? So she doesn't realize that we just spent about 10 minutes on her question?
Maybe, but she and I had some interaction on YouTube.
Let's go, Sheila.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Thank you so much, Sheila, for your comment. Loved it. And loved your recommendation, too. So my favorite part of that was that you came around to thinking that she was all hopped up on shrooms.
I'm still pretty much convinced she was on some sort of hallucinogen.
That maybe she was actually onto something. So yeah, I loved that conversation. Like, it's something I think about all the time, as you know, because I bring up Gattaca basically every other episode.
So I have something funny. So I was driving in today talking to my mom. It's after Christmas, New Year, just seeing how she's doing. And she said, it's tough being 80 because she's pretty healthy, that all of her friends have health problems. And she's like, it's really hard to see that. They don't really have great quality of life now. And I told her, I said, 80 is pretty old. I mean, you've been really fortunate in your life to have friends that have lived a long time. A lot of people didn't have that fortune, but it's exactly what we were just talking about right there. That if you live to 80 and you really have poor health, it could be pretty disastrous and really distressing. So the idea of longevity is about quality, not quantity, and having the most quality length of your life in terms of just out and out years.
Yep. And that's where I think the longevity research goes wrong, is that they just try and extend life at all cost. Like there is a cost.
Right. And then also the calorie restriction, I think, is probably, that's one of the mechanisms of extending your life.
For a mouse. They've not proven that in humans.
Right. Well, there's people that do it. What were you going to say, Nils? You were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say that if I did a top 5, that would have been on my list too, just because that like practical future science, sci-fi type stuff is just my jam. I just get so into that stuff, and I love like realistic predictions, Minority Report style, Gattaca style, things like that, where it's like
once a year watch Minority Report for sure.
Yeah, The Expanse is one of my favorite.
Do you like
shows,
that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, why do you think I bring up Gattaca all the
you
time?
never watch TV. You just work out all the time.
I don't watch TV, but I watch streaming. Does anybody watch TV anymore? It's just streaming.
I do.
It's NFL season.
Last one,
yeah. All right. So, Dr. Martin, let's watch your number 4.
Let's do number 4.
Bruising, swelling, and pain from lipo.
Yeah.
Bruising, swelling, and pain hurts 100 times more than your stitches or abs.
Thank you.
Yes.
We tell patients this all the time.
Lipo hurts more than anything we do, and no one believes us.
No one ever believes us. We say it. We're like, look, this is going to hurt way more. They're like, no,
We'll
you're
do
not
it.
right. You don't know what you're talking about,
We'll
sir.
do a tiny bit of lipo for a fat transfer on a facelift, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, my stomach. Like, what did he do? I feel like you.
Why did I choose to do it?
Yes. Lipo hurts.
It hurts really bad.
Hurts for a long time. And you will be bruised and very swollen from lipo.
Once you get through it and you don't have pain anymore and you don't have swelling, you're going to love the results.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not going to regret it, but that causes more pain than a tummy tuck does.
Yes.
Now, diastasis repair definitely causes pain.
Not like lipo.
But
it's
not
different
like
kind of
lipo.
pain.
Yeah, it's different kind of pain. And that's where like the muscle relaxants can really help.
Yeah. Yeah. Lipo hurts.
I mean, how many times do you say that to people?
Lipo hurts.
Yeah. That was the Reddit episode, which was brilliant on your part, because one of my favorite episodes of the year.
Yeah, I almost chose a clip from that. I mean, I go through, if I went back and looked at my list, I mean, like I basically choose a clip from every episode, and I'm like, you can only pick 5.
Right. That's good, though.
And I have to 5 it down.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was, lipo hurts.
Yeah, I just love your reaction to that. Like, it hurts. I say it hurts, and people still don't listen.
Nope,
so.
They don't believe me. Like, well, surely lipo couldn't hurt more than this XYZ surgery I'm having. I'm like, oh, yeah, it will. Can and will.
All right, what's up with your number 3, Amy?
Oh, Amy's number 3. All right, I feel like we're flying through these. Here's my number 3.
Let's go. We're going really far down the rabbit hole right now. This is Alice in the Wonderland.
Yes.
Okay, through the looking glass.
Not everyone will be supportive of your choice to have surgery.
Nope.
And if you go back and listen to the episode we did about rhinoplasty, we talk about the unfortunate story of Jennifer Grey. Famous actress, had a rhinoplasty, completely changed her look. She basically never worked again. And she felt pressured into having a rhinoplasty.
By her mom, which
because,
is devastating, actually.
Yeah, she thought she'd get more work, and it turned out she got less. But there are a lot of people in your life who are going to judge you for having surgery. You find out who your friends are real fast and who your frenemies are. And also your family, who wants you to, quote unquote, love yourself, is going to try and dissuade you from doing this. And then when you choose to, they may say things that are not that positive about it, that you don't look like yourself, that you look different, that you change something. And that can be hard. So if you know that those people are in your life, you need to find your tribe. And whether that's in person, if it's in your doctor's office, or if it's online, like there's some great supportive communities out there. Now there's some also really toxic stuff online. But you deserve to have the surgery you want.
Right.
Like timing your social interactions is another one I put on here. Don't bring all your frenemies with you to your splint removal. Like Don't do that. Maybe don't FaceTime your grandma the day after surgery. You got black eyes and she's judging you for changing your nose.
For your like grandmother that complains about everything to your split removal.
Yeah. But, those are things that you can manage, who you interact with, the timing of those interactions after surgery, balancing the expectations of people in your life. You're like, yeah, I know I'm going to be swollen. I know I'm going to be bruised. But it's tough. Like when you're recovering and you've got people in your life who are not supportive of your choice and are really kind of trying to drag you down or being judgy. Like, do you regret this? Oh, you still got a black eye. I bet you regret doing this. Comments like that, not helpful. But you might find that there are people in your life who say things like that, and knowing who those people are before surgery,
it'd be very helpful.
Very helpful.
Because if you go to a board certified expert, an ENT or plastic surgeon, preferably a plastic surgeon, and they do a natural rhinoplasty, you're going to love your results. You're going to look amazing, right? If you go to someone who's competent, but you have a period where you don't look normal, right? So why would you put yourself around people that are just going to be critical to begin with?
Yep.
You could love them. You can be friends with them. They could be close to you, but just surround yourself with people that naturally are positive and supportive, because you need 4, 6, 8, even 10 weeks to sometimes get through the swelling to where your nose really does look good. Yeah. And up to 6 months to a year sometimes for all the swelling to go away. So there's going to be that transition time that you have to plan for.
Yeah. But managing it in advance and really mentally preparing yourself for that, because you may think you are, but man, when those things start happening, when those people start saying those things, like that's when you need to have a plan ahead of time of what you're going to do in those situations. Like, how do I get myself gracefully out of this situation when it presents itself?
I tell you how I would do it, but it's probably not going to end well. So
it is not graceful.
That's where the alpha part comes out of me. I'm just like, all right, so you have a problem with my nose, you son of a bitch. That doesn't always, it doesn't always go over well.
No. Oh, it's tough. I mean, and all those things, like I've actually witnessed people's friends and or family members say to them and interact with them in the office. It's really devastating.
And they're a little bit jelly sometimes too, which is annoying also.
That's where a lot of it comes from. I mean, obviously the things they're saying are more a reflection of them than they are of you. But that's where it's important, if you've got those people in your life, like having them around you right after surgery, is you got to pick different people. That is not your support system after surgery.
I do think the tribe comment that you made was really good. It's like in this situation, we're at the tribe, Nils, you and I, and it creates an atmosphere of comfort and stability and kindness. And so you don't feel uncomfortable. And the last thing you want to do when you're recovering and in pain and swollen and looking weird is to feel that way.
Right. And that can be true for like the 5 minutes that they spend with us, but the 95% of the time after surgery, they're not with us. And we actually talked about that in the episode, that like your doctor's not your therapist.
Right. And I love my daughter, but sometimes she can be cray-cray. So I just need to get away on those times when I'm stressed out, and I'll come back. And I still love her, right, when I'm not around. So if you have people in your life that can make you a little bit cray-cray, just, separate for a couple weeks and then come back.
Yeah, that's not your tribe. Yeah.
All right. What's my number 3? Oh, this is, can I just say one thing real quick? So that episode was about really how you feel and the whole process of your emotions and self-perception. This episode is too. This was my favorite episode of the year.
Oh, okay. Here we go. We're talking about 3 specific dark sides of plastic surgery. And those 3 things are decision-making, education, or the lack of education, or the TikTok education, or the Google education. And then number 3 is ego and ethics. And that is specifically on the doctor's side. So
can we just skip 3?
All right. Oh, no, 3 is important. Let's break down now from this comment. We're going to talk about all 3 components: the education piece, the ethics, the empowerment. We'll get into all of this. So decision making.
We have to talk about the doctor ego part.
That's at the end. So decision making.
This feels like a therapy session or something.
Yeah. And that's really what I want to make sure that message gets across. Like, I'm not saying all these things specific to plastic surgery. Like this theory that your doctor in any realm is going to be the sole decision maker of your health in your life is absolutely not true. So these things go to dentists, to your dermatologist, to any healthcare provider. You need to make sure that you're getting your questions answered. We, in all of our episodes where we deep dive any surgery, we actually have listed in there questions you should bring to your consultation, questions you should ask at your pre-op appointment. Like, get your questions answered. Absolutely. And that your doctor should want that communication. However, ego, we'll talk about ego at the end. So
Nils said we're skipping the ego part.
Yeah.
No. And it is a weird dynamic in this field. I go into the operating room, I'm fully normal people, and very confidently decide that I'm going to make their bodies better. Okay.
They don't even have a disease. They just have life realities. And
or they should have life goals.
And I am absolutely confident that I'm going to knock it out of the park. And you want that in your surgeon, right? But that can cloud your judgment. This is getting very Star Warsy now. That can cloud your judgment in terms of that interaction. And it takes a long time in your career in this field to figure out that ultimately what the patient's experience is not as much of you, what you technically did or how you did it. It's really the communication you had with them beforehand and their experience through everything, not just the surgery and the immediate recovery, but the after recovery, and then for months afterwards. And then they come back and say, well, that wasn't that bad. I look so much better. You did exactly what you said you were going to do. Thank you so much. And that is, in a nutshell, defines good surgery. But that if I went through that whole process, or Amy did, and we really just interacted with them with ego, then they would never have that experience, and they would not feel invested. They would not feel empowered. I mean, it's like a weird dance back and forth, and life is too. It's very analogous to life. So you're always going back and forth from your ego to this area of acceptance, back to your ego in this area of acceptance, and it's kind of the same thing with surgery. The funny thing is you just have to perform, and there's sometimes where I go into my ego because I'm like, I pump myself up in my head. When it's a hard case, I'm like, man, you're really good. You got this, and that's
it's like lifting heavy weights.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's the same as lifting. You
gotta be your own hype man.
Yeah, I do. I hype myself up, and I do that with music. I surround myself with people that support my creativity. Nils is one of them. Amy is one of them. And that fulfills me, especially in plastic surgery, which is a very artistic field. If you read any biographies about artists, they're mercurial people, and they don't like to be around areas where they can't be creative, And so I do the same thing when it comes to surgery. But I do it with things that like kind of feed my ego, as opposed to like, just playing jazz music or getting into a flow state. It's kind of like, okay, you got this. Let's go. And that's human nature. But overall, you got to find somebody with a little bit of that balance. And sometimes that balance can get out of whack.
Dr. Martin, you said this at the beginning.
Oh, I did say this.
Yep.
And that's so crazy. I didn't even look at these slides, and it's right there. Empowerment and education. That's exactly what we're doing.
This is the reason we podcast.
Yeah.
That is literally the only reason. The reason we podcast is because we want people to be educated. And that's just not our patients. I mean, I will tell you, the best patients we get are the ones that listen to our podcast because they're educated.
Oh, yeah.
Like they've heard these things. And I hope that goes the same. I hope that other doctors have patients walk into their office with their list of questions that they got from our podcast to ask them and are like, wow, that person is super educated. Like that made my job easier. Like that's, empowerment is so key in these things.
Love it.
Yep. Empowerment is so key. And that all came from a comment.
Yep. Yeah. A distressing comment.
A distressing comment. Yeah. One that was not related to ape-specific surgery, was just kind of related to medicine in general. And yes, had us both a bit aghast.
Yeah. So. If you get a chance, watch that episode. It's excellent. And Amy is so eloquent in that episode. I watched the whole thing. What I usually I peter out after 25 minutes. But
don't tell them that.
But it's hard to hear my own voice. By the way, for some reason, like when I'm getting really serious about talking something, I close my eyes like this and I go like this. Like, where did that come from? I need a coach. I need a talent coach.
You're like talking to your inner self. You
yeah. I'm like closing my eyes. I guess I'm concentrating at that point.
Yeah.
But I thought you were so eloquent in that episode. It's one of my favorite ones of the year.
Oh, it was a great episode. I almost picked a clip from that one as well. I always wonder because there's only been 1 year where you and I picked the exact same clip.
No, same clip.
Yeah.
Not just the same episode.
That's what I mean. That's why I said the exact same clip.
It was more than one last year because I had to do like, this is your number 3 and his number 2. And like it was really confusing when I was putting the presentation together because I'm like, so I had to label those all. But yeah, you guys remarkably picked 2.5 of the same things, I think it was. So yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Just shows. So we are going to take a quick break and then we come back and we're going to get our top 1 and 2s and the Nils mashup.
I'm extremely excited.
And we're back. And this is my favorite time in this episode because it's my number 2.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yep. I'm your number
That's for
two.
the OG listeners.
Yes. Gotta love a good Austin Powers
Yes.
joke. All right. This is my number two. Dr. Brian, I hear you are a fan of Reddit.
I love it. I love Reddit.
Love Reddit. Love some deep dives.
And I like Reddit for all the weird kind of sciencey tech stuff that I like. I mean,
I would maybe preface that with science and tech before weird. Because if you just say weird, I love weird Reddit. Oh,
yeah, there is some weird Reddit. Yeah,
yes.
maybe weird was the wrong word.
Yeah, I think weird was the wrong word.
Pedantic, detailed.
There you go. Pedantic.
Technology.
Yes.
Technology. But I preferentially go on Reddit for a lot of things. And a lot of people don't do that. It's really interesting. You'll meet someone who likes Reddit and it's like a bond. Like, oh yeah, you look at these weird
Pedantic
Reddit streams. And you get in there. So yeah, I think it's a great resource if you want to get something that's crowdsourced.
So, I love it. Yeah, that was,
Every time I go on Reddit now, I just make sure I'm not going on weird Reddit.
well, if I wasn't concerned by what the results would be, I would probably type in what's the weirdest thing on Reddit.
Yeah.
Because weird is real subjective.
Oh, dude, there's some weird stuff on Reddit.
And I mean, I won't say that I've never had a result pop up on Reddit that didn't say that it was like blocked because it was not safe for work content. Because sometimes I'm looking for plastic surgery related things. And it's just, I like Reddit for like what somebody's experience was with something.
Totally.
Like when I was like looking for competition bikinis, like I wanted to see what people said about X company versus Y company.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more conversational. Like rather, I don't like, just going somewhere and like reading reviews on a website. Like I don't put any stock in that.
Those feel contrived. Like the Reddit like threads, when you follow them down, like I like technology stuff. I know Nils probably does this with video stuff. And you can see actually experts talking and they're going back and forth. And I love that. They can like vibe off each other, branch off into a different conversation. So
yeah, you can storyboard it a little bit. So if you want to see like all the replies. So yeah, I agree. I do utilize Reddit to an extent. I wouldn't say I spend tons of time on Reddit, but I do utilize it in those kind of specific situations.
I got you.
Yeah. So that I loved it. Pedantic.
Hey, before we do my next one, which is number two, I just want to say that.
Who's your number two?
You are. I just want to say that I feel like lately you don't think I have street cred, okay?
Oh.
And I don't have my ear to the streets.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Nils for sure believes that I have my ears on the street. So you can play number two.
Dr. Moore, we have a great topic to talk about today.
Yep.
We are talking everything you need to know about that word that tripped us up in 2023.
Yes.
Oh, no, it was brachioplasty.
Yes,
but
brachioplasty.
Blepharoplasty.
Blepharoplasty.
The one that gets me.
So it's eyelid surgery, eyelid tuck.
It's not eyelid. No one calls it an eyelid tuck.
You sure?
I am positive.
What do the lay people call it? What's on the streets?
You know,
right
the
now?
only person I've ever heard call an eyelid surgery an eyelid tuck is you.
I'm on the streets,
Yeah.
Amy.
So
I went out on the streets before this episode,
most people
even
call
though
it
it's
an
5
eye
degrees
lift.
outside. Yeah.
eye lift, just like we don't call it a face tuck, we call it a face lift.
Right.
Eyelid lift, eyelid surgery.
Lift. Yeah. Okay.
We're going to talk about upper and lower. We do these series. We did a few last year in 2023, kind of breaking down the reel from the start of your consultation all the way through to you recovered from surgery. And that's what this is going to be. So
I love these.
blepharoplasty, step by step. The basics, because we're going to talk more. We have some pictures that show the actual placement of the incisions
So I feel
on our
like
next couple of slides.
Paula Abdul had a song Step by Step. Did she? I mean, there's some.
No,
step.
that was Backstreet Boys.
Oh, Backstreet Boys.
Step
Okay.
by step.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Paula Abdul was 2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Mhm.
Yes.
Opposites attract.
Opposites attract. Okay.
Ooh. Right. I was going to say the Cheeto cheese guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I was actually a huge Paula Abdul fan when I was in like the 2nd grade.
Well, she could dance and sing.
I did my talent competition to Opposites Attract.
Right. I was also in 2nd grade when Paula Abdul was good.
I did. I did my talent show to Opposites Attract.
I feel like that's like totally in your pocket in your era.
Yeah, I was a huge Paula Abdul fan.
And Nils knew that Scat Cat was in the video. I mean, we got a lot of information between 3 of us.
I mean, that's what you get when you spend time on the streets.
Yeah. I'm on the streets. I know it may not look like it, but successful middle-aged surgeon in a nice neighborhood. But I got my ear on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Spoiler warning, that one made my cut too.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good.
All right. Well, the time has come.
Number 1. This is so nerve-wracking.
I know it really is. It's always hard to pick a number 1 because do you pick your favorite clip? Do you pick the best clip? Do you pick the...
I have to say it's harder now because we are better at this. And number one, we went to 4K this year. You could even see the difference in the video quality is better.
Crazy.
So I think it's harder now because I catch myself in these episodes now like really engaged and entertained, and then you lose the kind of bloopery kind of stuff that we used to have all the time.
Oh, I'm sure Nils will have plenty of bloopers from this year. I've been on prep. Who knows what I said? I'm pretty sure I gave my bank account number out instead of the phone number.
I guess we're not taking into account the Amy factor.
Yes, or the dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Very
right.
good. Yes, good point.
So without further ado, here is my number one. After being painfully huge since 7th grade and kept growing, I'm looking forward to getting through the door without bashing a boob, which Jules was laughing out loud, bashing a boob. And there was really no question in here.
I mean, I love it.
I just love this text, and it
just gives an excuse to talk about how transformative breast reductions are.
Yes.
And that's what this is all about, right? Of course, it's not going to like change the basics of your life, but man, if you have large hanging breasts.
Yeah, if you literally are bashing a boob on a doorway.
And you're bashing doorways with your boobs, you know, and car doors and
put in
couches and young children. Everyone's getting hit with your out of control
suffocate
boob.
yourself in the middle of the night if one cuts you get you in the face.
So I did have one patient tell me that her breasts were so heavy that when she slept, and if she didn't sleep with 3 bras, it would weigh down so much it was hard to breathe.
Oh yeah, or roll over. I mean, like just that movement of like having to move your breast with you when you roll over. Like a lot of women relate to that. Yeah. We got you, Jules.
I got you, Jules.
Go get your breast reduction.
Let's go.
And get your peniculectomy in. It is a whole new world. It's amazing.
And the brachioplasties are amazing too. Can't link that either.
Yes. So when I thought about my number one from this year, I'm like, it has to be Jules.
Yes.
Because Catherine and I joke about this all the time, like bashing a boob. I mean, I was dying when I read this text. I immediately read it to Catherine. I'm like, and we just, the whole thing, the emojis, you go back and watch that episode, I read the whole thing, and it just,
if you think about humanity, we're facing global warming and being bashed by Jules's large breast, right?
Right. Well, just like that whole thought process that like you literally have to like tuck your boobs in before you walk through a doorway.
Yeah, no. That was such a good episode.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I think this shows too. I don't know what your number one is, but so far, 3 of our clips have been from listener episodes?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's just great.
Oh,
that, you know, this is actually a comment from a listener instead of just something silly we did.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I mean, some of the best things were around the listener comment stuff and the Reddit stuff too. I thought the most engaging and the best information.
Yeah.
All right. So my number one, of course, how long have we been doing this for, Nils? This podcast?
9 years.
It'll be 10 years next year.
Yeah, 10 years because Canyon just turned 22.
Yeah. So we've been doing this 10 years, and everyone knows, besides me talking to Nils about tech and science, sci-fi stuff that he and I both like. What's up, bro? Amy's my muse. So, of course, number one is going to be Amy related.
Something I did. Oh, this is terrifying. Let's see your number one. Something I say often to our patients when we're struggling like with telehealth or something else is that technology is great when it works. And that's why my very first slide is my apologies. I have to apologize to many of you listeners because you have been calling.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So here's our
Are you serious?
Yes. Here's the number for voicemails. It's 303-630-9038. And I am an Android user. And this phone number is a Google phone number. I got a new phone in August, and for some reason, all of my Google accounts sync to my phone, except for Google Voice. So when I randomly logged on to the OG internet Google Voice a week ago, I found that I had a number of voicemails.
Oh my God.
And a ton of text messages.
This is so suspenseful.
Oh my goodness. So
This is like when you bury something and then open it 40 years, a time capsule.
I was like,
I mean, we should have an episode where we just go back and listen to these for everyone's purposes.
Well, I was completely crestfallen and I was so embarrassed. And so I felt so bad because a number of you reached out to me with specific questions about our supplementation episode. And you've actually already had your surgery that you were asking me questions about. So I sincerely apologize, like so sincerely. But it does mean that it's working, that people do leave me voicemails, and I have fixed my issue. So now it is syncing again.
That's the only part of it I don't like because I liked when you begged. And I'm very sorry to the patients. And this is so apropos for us.
None of these messages
were
were from
unable
before
to.
September. So, and it's January 1st. So
Okay, that's not bad.
it's not bad, but still, that's not how I do things. And I really feel bad. So thank you all so much for leaving your voicemails. And there are a couple that we're not going to answer today because they were specific and that time has passed, but I still will answer all of those. So thank you so much for all of your voicemails, all of your comments. So we are going to go through questions from listeners today.
And I want to apologize to the patients who called in for Amy's mistake because I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, that makes me feel really bad all over again.
I know, but it's entertaining. Don't you agree? It's somewhat entertaining.
It was great, and it also shows like it reinforces that you actually, even when we don't address a question on the air, you actually go back and you go through all of these questions.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that makes me feel really, really bad.
But a couple things on that. I think it really did reinforce how important these voicemails are. So that was one of the reasons I picked that clip. My favorite episodes of the year were the voicemail clips.
Which is proof that 4 out of our 10?
Yeah.
Almost 50% of our clips were from listener episodes.
Secondly, not having 4K cameras, you could just go back and look at that clip. You can see we're a little bit ruddy in the face. The lighting is not as good. Yeah, the new cameras really made a big difference.
See, I look at that clip. I'm like, wow, I was not on prep.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I had full cheeks.
And I mean, most
exactly a year ago.
Yeah,
exactly. And most importantly, Amy, this podcast wouldn't happen without you. So don't take it personally.
I mean,
you're 95% of this. Well, Nils is a big part of it too.
Yeah, that's what I said though. That's not
all
typical.
the editing and camera work.
Yeah. Having to listen to us talk more than
You're
anyone
like
on Earth.
45%, Amy.
Yeah.
Nils is 55%.
Yes.
I was just trying to be nice.
Oh yeah, but please leave us a voicemail. 303-630-9038. I love voicemails.
And we check them.
And I get the texts. And you can also email me. All my contact info is in the description below, along with the timestamps from this episode.
At some point, it would be fun to have people send in videos of them talking, like selfie videos. That would be fun too, and we can play those. Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, somebody could email that to me.
Let's do that.
If anyone's got them,
Yeah.
Sometimes the animated, people.
Not everybody is a video person. See, this is my toxic trait, is that I send videos to everybody instead of sending them like texts. So so anybody who is like a friend of mine or an acquaintance of mine, like in the morning, like I will, instead of sending the text like, hey, good morning, like I'll send them a video. Like, how's your day going?
That's so fun.
Like even our coach. And to the point where he was like, he's like, you don't have to send videos, like, because they cut off at like 2 minutes and I would send him like 5 videos in a row. He's like, if you just hold out, he's like, you can just send an audio clip that's as long as you want it to be.
Which is what my daughter does. But you do a full video.
I do
videos.
Your
face.
Yes, because
that's
I like,
so interesting.
To me, it's like, it like brings me to life,
yeah,
you know, like I feel like I'm saying that to you.
Totally. Yeah. That's so interesting.
So that is my weird millennial trait.
Yeah. But, and we also don't want people sending us videos of their body parts.
No, because or pictures. We will not put them up.
Definitely red flag that on
Will
YouTube.
you look at this mole for me?
Yeah, no, we will not rate your plastic surgery.
Good, Dr. Bard, please look at this scar.
This is not it. All right. So it is time for my favorite thing of the year.
Let's go.
We are going to watch the Nils mashup.
Yes.
Oh, here, you ready for this?
Nils, when you want to set
Do you have an intro?
Not much of a setup. Last year, I found a clip from almost every episode. I ended up with like way too much stuff. And it was kind of, this year, every time you guys made me laugh or we did something fun or silly, it just brings out how much fun we have on the podcast.
And we have so much fun.
It's still super long, but it was a really fun time to put together. And I prepared. I make all my notes now, so I don't have to drudge. So I feel like I would miss something because it would kill me if I went, oh my gosh, that was the best thing and I totally forgot about it. So yep, always fun to put together. And
we love you, Nils and Sarah.
Yes, we could not do this without you. All right, here we go, the mashup. Welcome everyone to Beauty and the Surgeon podcast. I'm Amy. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner. I'm coming to you as always with Dr. Jason Martin. He's a board certified plastic and reconstructive surgeon, and he is, and I am, technologically advanced. We are in 4K.
We're 4K.
Yeah. We've made some updates this new year. It's
you're going to see how poor our pores look.
Right? Like, don't look closely. Yeah. So we got some upgrades. We are...
we're just going to keep on going with this.
Yeah. We're going to be animatronic before we know it. He's a board certified plastic and reconstructive surgeon. I had to think of B words today.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Martin, we're talking...
Boss. B-O-S-S.
Boss. He's my benevolent boss. You actually are.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I technically am.
Yes.
Am I?
Yes. Is.
But am I?
Yeah.
I think Nils knows the truth. So it's eyelid surgery, eyelid tuck.
It's not an eyelid. No one calls it an eyelid tuck.
You sure?
I am positive.
What do the lay people call it? What's on the streets?
You know,
right
the
now?
only person I've ever heard call an eyelid surgery an eyelid tuck is you.
I'm on the streets,
Yeah.
Amy.
So
I went out on the streets before this episode,
most people
even
call
though
it
it's
an
5
eye
degrees
lift.
outside. Yeah.
eye lift, just like we don't call it a face tuck, we call it a face lift.
Right.
Eyelid lift, eyelid surgery.
Lift, yeah, okay. So should we establish the fact that blepharoplasty is one of my favorite surgeries to do? If we establish that or no?
Well, you say that about every surgery we talk about.
This
so-
one's my true favorite. It's like having children, you know? Everyone's your favorite, but you have some that are more favorite than others. So, I mean, who are these people that are
you
going
feel
around
okay?
asking everyone, are you tired?
Well, people
I mean, who
ask a
does
lot
that?
of things.
That's like a trolling move.
Yeah.
Right, Nils?
I know that is kind of the one thing you should never ask them. Like, oh gosh, are you tired?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you might as well just say like you look.
Well, you really look like crap
Right,
today.
like
Did you get a lot of sleep?
like you're not looking so good today. Yeah.
Take your
I
thing
gotta
off?
take my jacket off so you can see my.
Oh,
pulleys.
you gotta
You
pull out your guns?
See
There
my
you go.
pulleys.
Yeah. Would you do that, Nils?
What's that?
Do the brand reveal of your surgery after it's done?
Like a swan episode.
Yeah, like a
or
swan
something?
episode. Yeah, come down,
about, like,
come down the staircase. In
Think
your
about it like
dress.
but what about like a brand new tattoo? Would you have like your friends over to show them like a super meaningful tattoo?
I don't think I would do that either.
I don't know. I'm getting one in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Oh, we'll see.
I've heard of yeah.
Make sure you don't do it yourself. It doesn't look like a prison tattoo
There we
like the
go,
other
yeah.
ones you have.
It'll be my first non-prison tattoo. I'm very excited.
But actually talking about the surgery itself so that you, the patient, has a full understanding of what's happening. I have my arms up again.
Yep,
Doing that
you're
thing. Yeah.
lipo now.
Yeah, lipo now.
I'm joined today, as always, by my very olfactory forward co-host,
Yes, sir.
Dr. Jason Martin. Yes, sir. Really?
Yes.
The things that are going to happen at pre-op. They're going to take pictures.
What if I don't want pictures, Amy?
They're going to take them anyway. You might need an EKG if you are over 50. You might need other.
What if I don't want an EKG?
Are we playing some kind of game
Yeah.
that I don't know the rules
With you.
to? Like, what is happening here? Look at that. It's Beauty and the Genius today. Yes. That, and it's normal,
I don't need no Amy.
right? It's normal to be nervous.
Actually, I really 100% need Amy. Like every single day. So
I'm like a security. I'm like a security
you
blanket.
are. You're
Yeah.
my
Yep.
support animal.
Yes.
You're gonna have to sleep upright because of the swelling.
Semi-upright.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you're
Yeah,
not
you'd have sleep
standing. You're not
upright.
standing.
Yeah. You're in a reclined position. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a horse.
Don't ever sit down.
Cow tipping out there. That's the word we can't say or we kicked off YouTube.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
The C word.
Yeah. That thing.
That has a whole other double entendre
Yeah.
to it.
So I figured it was time.
Can't say that one.
You
Can't say that one either. That'll
Is
also
there
be
any
kicked off
C
YouTube.
word you could say, Nils?
Yes. Yep, do that one.
This looks like something from Austin Powers.
Yes, it does. So I do the inversion method with the AeroPress,
It's not mine, baby.
which means I basically brew it upside down of what you guys are just loving this Austin Powers joke. I mean, it does. All right, it looks like a pump, a short but stocky one. Okay.
And so it accumulates, and that sometimes has to be aspirated. Some people do drains with liposuction. if
They
it's-
do.
Some people do.
They do.
Some people
Sorry.
use drains.
We used to do Awake in the OR. Or
Yeah.
we did in that little the room where they did the colonoscopies, their little semi-sterile area.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that doesn't sound very sterile. Where there's a colonoscopy there.
Well, no, I mean it was clean. It just
Yeah.
it wasn't like for like big
A procedure room.
Yeah, it
This
was a
is called
procedure
like that,
room.
not the colonoscopy
Yeah.
room.
You a trust fall?
Yeah.
Come on,
No, I'm
bring
not.
it in.
No way.
I catch you.
Don't freak me out.
catch you
no,
so much.
I refuse. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to trust fall. Even though I think you could catch me
I
because
could
you're
catch
strong.
you.
You're like inordinately
you.
strong. Yeah. And it makes you feel good inside.
makes you feel good
yes.
inside.
Yes.
Normal people want to change.
Amy and I have the best job, Nils. Better than you. Maybe not.
Too.
Maybe not. That could be true. I'm not going to argue that point.
Candy corn. Oh, candy corn and pretzels, candy corn and peanuts. There is because candy corn is so sweet.
Even the way you say candy corn, it sounds like you have a fetish.
I do.
Candy corn.
And candy corn is one of them. Candy corn. Candy corn. Yeah. If you get a small squishmallow or something that's about that size, so you want the squishmallow that's like the 8-inch squishmallow. And I literally have our patients buy squishmallows. I send them the link and they buy them. There's just something about the texture of the squishmallow that is so supportive, but also so soft. They're round.
The round. Okay.
They're squishmallow, you know? Oh,
You keep saying this word like Nils and I have like 4 of them at home.
squishmallow.
Right here.
Right there. They come in many characters. You can
Again,
choose.
It's not helping me because you're gonna edit that into the
Yeah, you won't know
you won't
for
know.
a couple of weeks.
so I watched the show. My Squishmallow is going to be your face.
I mean, that would be
Just gonna,
kind of awesome.
kind of snuggle up against it at nighttime.
Yep, the big hair.
Yeah.
My Squishmallow would be.
And you're going to have your Sally Jesse Raphael glasses.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so how tall are you, Amy?
I'm 5'11".
Yeah, would you know that by looking on this video? You really wouldn't.
No, in fact, people sometimes say that I'm really tall because,
Because I'm
sitting.
Yeah, that makes you like 6'2".
Right. Well, or people be like, oh, I actually showed a clip of the podcast to someone once, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, your boss is huge." This was somebody who knew me in real life.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, I'm
big.
like sitting. He has a much longer. I'm a lot of length.
That's why we don't show Nils. We don't put him
Yeah.
on camera because he's like jacked.
Here's Nils.
Wait, here's Nils.
Yeah, gorgeous Nils.
And we don't get dinged for that anyway.
No, we can ding Nils all we want.
Yeah.
Nils.
Is this like Mad Men? What is this, like the 60s?
Exactly,
Yeah, it
like-
feels like that.
Yeah, this is not the way
Don
it
Draper,
works. Yeah, I
surgeon.
have to decide. But we hear patients tell us this still all the time. I remember what episode we talked about this, where you basically you bridge it. You create a little bridge
We're going to have
between the
Nils
two
figure out
edges.
that episode right here.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
I
Good luck,
and I
Nils.
might think,
I want you to show a picture right
Yeah.
here, Nils.
Yes,
there we go.
I'll pull it up.
can you
so
make me look like a
see it.
Swedish girl?
Competition of
You make me
looking
a nun
things.
when I say that, Nils.
So, I don't want to bring Catholicism into it, but
Put us on the podium, Nils. There we go. Dr. Martin's kicking a soccer ball. It's like, what are those things, the caricatures? Your caricature would have the soccer ball.
I can't wait to see how Nils edited it.
Yep, that's going to be awesome. So, Dr. Martin, how you doing?
I'm feeling sparkly.
Yeah, I love 4th of July. I think we've well established how much I love the national anthem.
Yeah, I love it. We're very patriotic. We love fireworks.
Yeah,
We love summer.
it is spooky month. Like, cue the ghosts. Cue the pumpkins. Cue the skeletons. I don't know what else comes out in Halloween. If you hadn't guessed, it's November 1st, so all the spooky is behind us, and the turkeys. Cue the turkeys, Nils. Cue the turkeys.
Who knows what this turkey's going to be? Nils is a turkey.
Yeah, that's right. You wear your warm-up jackets. Oh my gosh.
90s and early 2000s.
Oh my gosh. I feel like if we were going to have merch of any kind, that's what it should be, is a warm-up suit.
Yes.
Because all of our surgeries,
And
and
a
it would
toilet
be dark
extender.
colored,
Yeah.
for people that are like leaking all over the place
Totally.
after lipo. Yeah.
Anything with a toilet.
It would have pockets on the inside of the jacket so they can put their
yes.
drains
Yeah.
in them.
It would be fabulous.
This is gonna be-
Yes.
I'm going to start designing the Jason Martin MD warm-up suit, tracksuit, post-op tracksuit. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is the best idea ever. You are the first to go, so let's talk about research you're into.
Well, that would require me to pronounce this word right here. So I want you to pronounce that word.
Synonucleopathies.
It's synucleinopathies. Synucleinopathies.
So we're going to kind of cover everything from start to finish, literally starting with the statistics. I had to pause.
Wait. How many years have we been doing this? And how many years have you been messing up
These
statistics?
Statistics. Purchase recommended post-op products, which may include garments, ice packs, my pillow system to facilitate better sleep. Support and facilitate. That's facilitort. That is how you facilitort
I mean, that's
something.
efficient use of English. You just keep
Yes.
compressing it down
We're just benefiting
to
everything.
to the most efficient word possible.
You're going to faciliport. Stiffness, or limited range of motion. It's the November. I just can't. It's the time change. That's what's doing this to me. It's the darkness. I don't even
Or it's
understand
your
it.
grasp of English.
And I love this. This is from Lupe Adame PY4.
P4Y. P4Y. P4Y.
I am very
Y
dyslexic.
before P.
Adjust and reduce the size and the position of the nostrils.
Which is called a weir excision. Amy loves all of our medical medical words.
What's that water rabbit? Emma Ford.
Yeah, so we're
You wove those
a weir
rabbits?
excision. Yeah.
But doing the facelift first and then adding to the foundation versus trying to fill a foundation that's way too voluminous already. There's too much space, and then trying to do the face.
Voluminous. What word did you say?
Voluminous.
Voluminous. Yeah.
Well, it's voluminous.
Voluminous.
It's voluminous.
You said it's sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
if you say it with conviction, it's not voluminous. It's voluminous.
It's voluminous.
It's voluminous.
With Z's at the end.
Again, the text is 303-321. No, that is our phone number.
You can call for a consult.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at the piece of paper and saying a different number, which is why I have the paper.
303.
630-9038. And you can text
Here,
like Robin
Nils,
did.
put the number right down there.
Please follow us on social media. You can find all of those social media handles right here. Phone mail one more time. Phone mail. Phone number. is 303-630-9038. Words are
2024
hard.
didn't change anything.
No, it did not. You have an eyelash on your lower eyelid.
I do?
Just noticed it because now we're talking about your lower eyelid.
Oh, no, wait. Take care.
Yep.
Or is you got? Okay. Do I need a cantapexy?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Just an eyelash.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, thank God.
We're supposed to make a wish.
No,
Mhm.
you make.
No, it's your eyelash.
No, it's your.
This is your wish.
It's your
I'm not
finger.
getting that bad luck.
Okay.
That's your.
I wish that I can keep doing this podcast
Blow
with
it
you
up.
forever.
There you go.
There you go.
That was so good, Nils.
Dude,
you are the expert editor.
I was worried that Volume S was coming.
Yeah.
I love that because you guys went with it. That's
So-
invented the word.
Top part of it is when he mags in on the PY4, P4Y.
I am telling you, people, if you do not believe that dyslexia is a real disease,
Yeah.
it is.
It is so great. It is, but and of course, it just makes it more fun. But you're so intelligent. You have such an amazing memory, actually, for numbers. That's what's nuts about
That's
it.
the worst
It's like
part.
you can remember people's phone numbers, which no one can, and but you can't when you say it, you mix it up.
Yeah, I can't say it. I'm the same way with spelling. I mean, this is why when I was reading at a 12th grade level as an 8-year-old, I couldn't pass a basic second grade spelling test to save my life.
Right, but your comprehension was high. So interesting.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
Yeah, Amy and I have that in common in a big way.
Yeah.
It's when you try and say stuff or read out loud, things like that. I had such a hard, but I can retain a ton of information in my head. I just sometimes putting it out there is, but I feel like we picked on Amy a little bit this year. But
Well, trust me, I was on prep a lot of this year, so there were many opportunities.
Many. Those all made me laugh real good. And that last one I just thought was because it just gets so intense. It's an eyelash. It's that bad luck. It's a great little tidbit of what you guys are to hang out with. I love it.
My one other favorite moment that was not in there, that was not big enough to use as one of my clips, was when we Rochambeau for Who Goes First, and man, 3 times in a row we did the same one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I love that one. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. Well, happy birthday, Nils. Belated by a year and a half.
Yes.
A year and a half later, I finally came through on giving you that donut with a candle
We
in
should
it.
make this every year where we celebrate. It's like Christmas in July. We celebrate your birthday in January.
This is your. It's kind of your half birthday. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love the donuts. I've been snacking on it a little bit on the side. Trying not to get all my equipment sticky, but it is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a
so
huge
good.
donut.
So
Parlor
good.
donuts. So thank you everyone so much. As you saw from our clips, nearly 50% of them came from you, the listener. So we could not do this without you. This is the reason why we podcast. As we said many times, this is the reason we podcast. It's for you. So Dr. Martin, what are your wrap-ups?
Well, we couldn't do this podcast without you, Amy, and also Nils.
And Sarah.
Oh. So this is a passion
And
project that I have to say personally. I know Amy feels the same way, that the enjoyment we get from this, from the interactions from the listeners, is made every part of this almost 10 years worth it. And every week we get people interacting with us, either on comments or for consults, telehealth consults or whatever, saying that they found value in the podcast. Every week I get patients coming in saying they listened to this episode, they feel more confident, and that's what it's about. So thank you so much. And thank you to the people that actually make this thing happen. I just sit up here and make stupid comments and then drop some knowledge in between. Anything, Nils, from your end?
No, just thank you guys. This is always a great time. And, we talk about a lot of very serious things, but we still always laugh and have a good time. And again, like you said, shout out to all the listeners. Keep them coming. It really gives us great content to talk about. It gives us insight, what other people are going through outside of this office. So keep it coming.
Yep.
Love it.
And
awesome.
Did Jules ever get her breast reduction? That's really the question I have.
I think so.
All right, let's go, Jules.
I'm sure she did. So if you've made it this far in the episode, thank you so much. We would love it if you would subscribe. That way you get all the episodes that are coming in 2025. You can find all of our social media handles here. You can also leave me a voicemail, 303-630-9038.
She checks it.
And we will see you here next time.
All right, see you next time.